Hello cave people, welcome to the cave. I am Sarah, aka Sarah Bear from Sarah Bear's Creative Cave, and it has once again been a while. Excuse me. I had a very terrible cold again. Kind of has to do with the environment that I work in. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you stick around, and if you're returning, thank you for being an awesome cave person. For those of you who don't know, I do work at a facility called Living Space. It is a low barrier shelter for the homeless and at risk. And what a low barrier shelter is you're not denied access to services based on your intoxication level. So we do have clients that come in who are intoxicated, either substance or alcohol based. Basically, as long as you're not causing harm to yourself or anyone else, you're not causing a disturbance or harming property, you're welcome to come and stay. Now, some of you are going like, wow, that sounds pretty scary. It can be at times, but for the most part, it's really not. I really enjoy what I do. If any of you have been watching previous videos, you know that I volunteered there for a very long time. I've been at that facility since the doors opened over a year ago, volunteering my time, filling in when I was needed or helping out where I could. So I guess they finally decided I should stick around and they wanted to pay me for it, which is a bonus for me because now I'm able to pay bills on time, which is a bonus. So I'm pretty blessed. But that being said, this is why I haven't been on very much, because I work a lot of night shifts. And if anyone has worked regular night shifts, you basically sleep and work. And you have like a day off in between, which is when you get like things like laundry or phone calls or appointments dealt with. Not a whole lot of time left in there for anything else. I'm slowly getting used to it, adjusted to it. It does take some time. So I work like from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. majority of the time, which is fine. I have worked some day shifts, but yeah, so mostly night shifts. So that's what I've been doing. So that's why I've been absent. I'm still alive. I'm okay. I had commented on one of Miss Setta's videos the other day, and she said, "Don't make your YouTube moms worry." Hilarious. Like, had me laughing and also feeling like, sorry, I apologize. I haven't been around. So this is going to be sort of a longer video, and I urge you to watch it to the end. You will not regret it. Can't tell you why. It's a surprise. So I'm going to start off with acquisitions. Pardon me, because there are quite a few. So it's sort of an acquisition slash finished object slash work in progress. I have this really awesome sock yarn, and the label it is a brand called Xoxo Boho. Clearly this is not the color I'm working with, and I've lost the ribbon, like the ball band for it, so I don't remember what color it is. And it doesn't have a name anyways, it just has color numbers. But I got this one for myself to make socks because it's super pretty. And yeah, it does have a bit of fuzz. It is, where is it? 75% wool, 25% polyamide, which is good ratio for socks. The polyamide, which is like a nylon, gives it extra strength so that it doesn't wear out as fast. Excuse me. And it is machine washable, so that means it's a super washable. It is 100 grams, 400 meters. Number 4. Recommended needle size between 2.5 and 3.5 millimeter for knitting needles, and a number 2 crochet hook. So anyways, yeah, so this is what I'm working with right now. So I got this color, which is like a purple, orange, red, black, white combination. And then this one is all Oopsie Daisy. Nope. Oopsie Daisy is not the colorway. I just dropped my thing. Alright. This one is blacks and grays. Now, this is the third sock I've ever made in my life, you guys. And I'm pretty darn proud of it. Check it out. It's a whole sock. But look at the cool color. Like, so the colors play out like this. This is not something that I didn't change colors partway through to make that. No, like that's how the yarn is. That's how the colors play out. So I just knit and that happens. But I've decided I really love this kind of a heel. You could tell that I screwed it up a bit right up here until I figured out I was doing it wrong. But it gives it more squishiness, and this is the part that rubs on your shoe, so this will give it a bit more strength, and kind of like with the slipped stitches, it's like extra padded, I guess, so it'll wear better. So this is the sock that I made, and I kind of messed up a bit on the toe because it's like extra super pointy, which you can tell when I go like that. So, but it still fits. It's actually, I made this one for my son, and it fits. He's got a size 11 foot, and my husband wears a size 10, and I wear a size 9 ladies, and it fits all of us. It's like the sisterhood of the traveling sock. Because this looks small, but it's very stretchy. So even the sock part is very stretchy, which is awesome. So that it means it'll fit multiple people, multiple sizes. So that is my third sock I've ever made in my life, and I'm pretty proud of it. If you remember way back, I had made a pair of like easy peasy socks, I think they were called. Just like they had like a little bit of an ankle rib, and then it was like the heel, so it was kind of like, it kind of was like that. It was just like a little bit of ribbing right into the heel and then the foot. And that was made with worsted weight yarn, and my husband still wears those. So I'm making these with a 2.75 millimeter DPN. This is the second sock that I'm working on. See how fuzzy it looks? It's not the super softest yarn, but I think it'll wear really well, which is good. So that is one of my, hello camera, there we go. One of my acquisitions, slash works in progress. And after working with DPNs, because that's knitting obviously, laddering is the thing. And what that is when, because this one I'm having issues with today. Where's a good, apparently I've been doing pretty good at my laddering this time. So basically where the needles join, see if I can get my face out of the way. So where the needles join, if you look, you can see when I pull it apart a bit, it has those, looks like rungs of a ladder. Trying to get it to focus, not on my face. There we go. Excuse me. So right in here, when you pull the stitches apart, it has those lines, which kind of look like the rungs of a ladder. That's why it's called laddering. And that is because the tension is a bit off. It's not consistent. Because you're sometimes pulling the needles apart to get to your next stitches and whatnot. So DPNs have a tendency to create laddering in socks, and what that looks like on a sock, because this one you can see there's one spot where I didn't quite manage to get it to go away. So if you look, there's like this loose kind of line here. You can see where the stitches are a little bit different, like right in here. If I hold it back, you can tell, like there's a line right here. And compared to the rest of the stitches, they're not as uniform or close together. And that is where a set of my needles joined when I was working. The other two spaces were here, which you can still sort of see, but it's not as bad. And on this side, looks like professional over here. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. So yeah, that is DPNs, which brings me to my next, well, part of my next acquisition. I watch a lot of YouTubers, and I need to catch up on them because I'm missing a bunch of videos because I've been working so much. So Barbara Benson is one of the channels I really love. She's just kind of like very quirky, and I love her attitude, and she's like very bubbly and very informative, and I just love her channel. So it's Watch Barbara Knit, I believe is the channel. My brain doesn't want to work today. Can't brain today, you guys. I have the dumb. So anyways, one of her videos, she was talking about the different needle types, the different materials, for the different types of projects, and like she would recommend a wooden needle for beginners because they tend to be a little bit more grippy, which I can attest to because I have wooden DPNs because I was a beginner and I wanted that extra grip so I wasn't like sliding stitches off. I plan on getting metal needles in the future now that I'm a little more comfortable in my technique, I guess. Anyways, one of the brands that Miss Barbara recommended was Xoxo needles, which is apparently like high-end cream of the crop type needles. And I have heard in a lot of circles that a 9-inch circular for socks gets rid of the laddering effect because you don't have those joined needles, right? So it's like a continuous loop. And I'm thinking that is crazy small. But there's a company close to me. I was going to say local or close, and it came out local because I make up words apparently. Called Needlework Studio. They're in a town called Cochrane, which is probably about a 45-minute drive away from me. Yes, I couldn't tell you how many kilometers or miles. It's a 45-minute drive. That's how we tell how far people live from us. Like Toronto is an 8-hour drive, possibly 9 depending on traffic, away from me. So, that's how we tell distance up here in the north, because Northern Ontario, if anyone has ever been here in Canada, it's very far apart. Towns are very far apart. There's lots of trees and bush and animals, and yeah. So anyways, this is a company from Cochrane, and I can order online and have it shipped by bus. If you spend $100 or more pre-tax, it's free shipping. Otherwise, I think it's a $5 flat rate for any other amount under $100. Well, of course, I like free shipping, so I spent $100, which is not hard because I got the good stuff that I've been waiting a while to get. So anywho, I got myself a set of 9-inch circulars, Xoxo. These are made of surgical grade stainless steel, have precisely machined tips and joins, a flexible multi-strand nylon coated memory free steel cable, and a permanently laser marked needle size. Ooh, I didn't notice that. Oh, look at that. How about that? So it is. It says Xoxo and it says 1.5, which is the needle size, I guess, for US, or for us Canadians in Europe or Europeans, it would be 2.5 millimeters. I bought these with the intention of making the second sock with them, but I'm using a 2.75 and these are 2.5, and I didn't really want to give my kid 2 different size socks. So I'm continuing with the DPNs for that, and I'll show you what I'm working with for the Xoxos. I'm making my husband a pair. But this, let's see if it'll focus. Hello. Go away, face. This is, okay, it doesn't want to focus. Oh, there we go. So this was a freebie that came with my order. How cool is that? It's like a little key fob thing. So that was a freebie I got with my order, which was unexpected and very welcomed. And so I bought 2 of these Xoxo needles. These are not inexpensive needles. The whole set of DPNs, the wooden ones that I got, I think were like $20 from Knit Picks. And the Xoxo, which is a more premium needle, these were like $15 a piece. Which I thought at first, I'm like, oh, it's really expensive, and I hummed and hawed about it, but I eventually, ultimately, obviously purchased them. And let me tell you, worth every freaking penny. So, this leads me to my other acquisitions from this order. How cute is that? Look at that. Okay, turn around, little sock yarn. Okay, well, they're called Sock Twins. And they're 2 little cakes, 2 50-gram cakes of yarn that are exactly the same. So you can make 2 exactly the same size socks. And each one of them is a 200-meter cake. And it is 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon from a company called Estelle Yarns. I don't know if it's Canadian or not. It might be. But anyway, so I got this cute purple. I'm just looking for, oh, it doesn't say. It says color 04. I think this one was called Petunia online. And then I got another set, because how cute are these? And this one is blues and dark gray in the middle. And this one was called Cumulus, I think. Yes. And just don't mind me, I'm going to reach over here. And then I got these ones. And this one is called Ivy. And this, I'm making a pair of socks for my husband out of this one, because I told him I bought some sock yarn, he could pick which one he wanted, and I would make him a pair of socks. So, oopsie. And these are a center pull cake. So you pull from the center, which is awesome because you could just put them in a bag. And I bought 2 needles because I plan on making the 2 socks independent, like at the same time. That was recommended by a few of the channels that I watch to prevent what they call a second sock syndrome. And I was like, I don't get that. Why would you not want to make the second one? Until I made a whole entire sock. And I had to start the second one. I was like, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. Second. So they recommend doing it in stages. So like I would do the ribbing of one, do the ribbing of the next one, and then like do the sections at the same time, which does 2 things. A, you make both socks at the same time, and B, you're ensuring that they're both the same size as you're making them. So it's the same length of ribbing, it's the same length of the leg, it's the same type, like the same heel, the same length of foot, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, this is my sock I'm making for my husband. I'm working on the ribbing part. Look, okay, how little, this is my hand. And this is the needle. So this is, when I'm working, this is how, let me see if I can, my tail's in the way. Okay, so I'm just going to try to do this so you guys can see kind of how little this is. Do you see how little this is to work with? But the upside of this is it's so fast. I could do 3 rounds on these versus 1 round on my wooden needles. So, yeah, I got this done in like about half the time it took me to do this much on the other one. Tanya. But so do you see the difference? How one's a circle and then there's no gaps except for where I'm like at the front here. But this one has gaps in 3 different places. So anywho, this yarn is a lot softer. Oh, there's gray on the outside. This yarn is a lot softer than the what is it called? The Nako. And this is like a marled yarn. It has, I think it's a 4-strand, or is it 3, 1, 2? I think it's 4-stranded, but it's marled. So if I hold this up, maybe, yeah, there you go. So you see how there's multiple colors in the strand? So this one is going to be different than the other one, which has kind of sort of a Fair Isle pattern in it. But this is the inside. So this is, if you can see, it's like gray and white striped. But once knit up, it looks like so. Cool. So that is acquisition / work in progress. What I'm working on right now. All right. And, oh, there's more. So another one that I bought is called Diamond Select. I want to say Fonts or Fonche. This is like a navy. Is the color on here? This again is 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide. Recommended needle size 2.5 to 3 millimeter. It does not have the color name. It's color 7, but it's a navy basically, and it's really pretty. I don't know why. Okay, my lighting is weird. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit more true to color. Excuse me. It looks a little bit more on my screen right now. It looks a bit more gray. It's more of a navy with like a light stripe through it. So I got that. And I think this one was like $12.99. The little sock twins were $15, which seems expensive at first, but the more you think about it, okay, it's wool, first of all, and you're making an entire pair of socks. So to me, it's not overly expensive. And then we have the more expensive sock yarn. This is by a company called Log House Cottage Yarns. And this one is from the Simply Speckled Dark collection. It is their Squishy Sock 8-ply, which is extra fine merino, 80% and 20% nylon. And this is a dark purple, but I don't know if it's going to show up. Like, it's like a light purple base with lots of dark purple speckles and even some like navy speckles. I don't know if that's showing up for you guys or not, but it is stunning. It's more of, so I can, it still looks a little more pink to me on my camera. It's more of a purple than a red. It's more of a cool tone than a warm tone. But it's very soft and so pretty. And this is a 420 yard hank. This one was, I think, yeah, this one was $26 for a hank, which is not inexpensive, but not overly expensive. I have hanks of my own hand-dyed yarn that are around that price too. So it's fairly standard, but it's beautiful. Just beautiful. I have plans for a shawl. Oh, look at this, you guys. Oh, I just pulled apart the yarn a little bit around this dark spot, and oh my jeepers, look how dark and beautiful that is in there. Oh, this is going to be so stunning to be working up. I can't even. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. So I have plans for a shawl. A garter stitch shawl is what I want to make. And I think I found one. It's called Find Your Fade. And I purchased, it's a paid pattern, which I think it's like $7 US, which works out to like about $9.21 Canadian. So I did purchase that pattern. And this with some other hanks that I have, which I don't know where they are right now, are going to make this really pretty shawl. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. So those are acquisitions. And So this is the card that came in with my order. You can order online. So basically, if you ship it by bus, basically it gets shipped overnight. So like you order and then like the next day it gets shipped out and you get it like the next day, essentially. So it takes like a day, maybe 2 tops. Yeah. So orders over $99 are shipped free via Ontario Northland bus, normally overnight. And orders between $25 to $99 are only $5 shipping, which is very cheap and amazing. So yeah, check them out. Go online. Yay! And then also, this was in there. It is the Heritage Village, which is a Cochrane's Museum. They have Heritage Village and the Cochrane Classic Vintage Riders Museum. Never heard of that. You know you live in Northern Ontario when. It is a snowmobile museum. Has over 100 vintage sleds, archives containing historic photographs, and unique memorabilia. Very, very cool. And that is probably at the same place as the Cochrane Polar Bear Habitat. And yes, we have polar bears. They are in Cochrane, the same place as the Needlework Studio. I haven't been there since I was a kid, but they do have polar bears, which is very cool. So if you're ever planning on coming to the north, check out Cochrane. Check out the Needlework Studio. I'm just going to put these all back. So yeah, this came in a big bag like this. And that is very cool. So that is acquisitions. I'm so sorry. Excuse me, apparently I'm allergic to awesomeness. So, this brings me to another acquisition / subscription. I had told you guys about Destination Lane, which is a subscription service which combines Erin Lane bags and Destination Yarn, Destination Lane. So basically, you pay every month. I think it works out to about $40 something Canadian a month, and 1 month you get yarn, the next month you get a bag, then you get yarn, then you get a bag. There's also options to get only yarn or only the bag, or to double up the yarn with 1 bag, double up the bag with 1 yarn, or double up both. So 2 bags, 2 yarns. I went with 1 and 1 because it's my first time with it, and I had gotten my yarn, which the more I look at it, the more amazing. I freaking love it. There's like hints of warm greens, like pine, and then hints of a cool green, like a blue spruce. Gorgeous. And I did tell you that they had a delay on shipping the bags out because they were waiting for their fabric to clear customs. And it finally arrived. And I was guessing because Aspen, Colorado is known for skiing and snow resorts and stuff, right? So I had guessed probably was going to be like a little skiing sheeple, because the bags that you get every month have sheeple, which are sheep characters doing people-y things, aka sheeple. And so, I love it. It's so cute. Can you see? Look, okay, I'm going to try and hold it so that you guys can see it. It is, okay, here's a little, so it's a little sheep on skis with a cup of hot cocoa and on a ski hill with a little sign that says Aspen. It's so cute. And it is pretty decent size. Oh, I just poked myself in the eye. A very decent size bag. This is my head. So like this would be a decent like scarf, project bag, probably depending on what size yarn you're using, like a fingering weight, like a shawl, or maybe even a cardigan. Definitely a lovely bag. And it cinches up, and you have to like it won't come undone like easily. Like I'm really pulling on that. You have to stick your fingers in there and actually pull it apart. So like it locks in place, which is something I have heard about Erin Lane bags. I had heard about this originally by watching a Marley Bird live chat they had with Destination Lane. And so, where is it? There it is. If you look, it says Erin Lane. Apparently Erin Lane bags are like the creme de la creme of project bags. I was like, I don't know. I've never really had one before, so. But yeah, they're pretty amazing. And it is lined with like a cream fabric. It's awesome. And then the yarn. So here's the hank of, this is a worsted weight yarn. You just hold it up on the bag so you can tell, like, size-wise, how big the bag is. So, like, if I put the hank of yarn in the bag, like, it's way down here on the bag, like right here. So you could fit lots in here. I'm pretty stoked about it. So yeah. Acquisitions. That is pretty much it. I do have some stuff that I got from Value Village, which are different kinds of cones of yarn, mostly cotton, I think, and some blends. I'm not sure what I'll do with them yet, but they were like $4 for 3 to 4 cones of different colors, sizes, thicknesses. And they're way over there because I forgot to bring them. And that would be the end of my acquisitions for right now. I'm just going to move this over here. And now this would bring me to the "you're happy you stuck around" part of the video. I know it's been half an hour, but in this basket is every skein of hand-dyed yarn that I haven't used or given away yet, that I have made myself. And I did want to do like a live video every week in January because that was my birthday month and I turned 40, and unfortunately I was not able to do that because I got sick and then I started working, so it just wasn't able to happen. And also in there was I hit 100 subscribers and I still haven't done that giveaway. So what we're going to do at the end of this video, surprise, is we are going to have a happy birthday, happy 100 subscribers mega giveaway. So without further ado, I'm going to show you every single one of these skeins. And every single one of these is going to get given away. And I don't remember how many there are because I haven't counted them. But there'll be a lot of winners because only one skein per winner. This is open worldwide. So if you can accept mail from Canada, you can enter to win this. So I'm going to first show you the yarn. Oh no! Uh-oh. Hang on. We have a runaway. Come back here. Of course, it's the unicorn yarn. It's the one that I really, really like the most, and I really didn't want to give away. So it's like trying to run away. So this yarn is a lace weight, and it is a 70% superwash merino, 30% nylon. There is 100 grams and 874 yards in this bad boy. And this is it's got a halo for sure. I put this one in a cake because this yarn tends to run a little on the wimpy side is the best way I know how to describe it. It requires a gentle hand, shall we say. But once knit or crochet up, it will be fine. But on its own, because it is a single strand, a single ply, go away face, there you go. It tends to be a little more delicate. And this I'm calling my unicorn halo because it's got the fuzzy halo, which you can see, but it's got all these beautiful colors. So this was dyed with neon food coloring. I don't remember the brand name, but it's like the little dropper bottles you get in the 4-pack. But this one is neon. I can't remember the brand name, but most of us in Canada know the little dropper ones. So now this, anyway, so I'm going to try to go through these a little bit faster because otherwise this would be like a 3-hour long video because there's a lot of yarn. So this one is hand wash, lay flat to dry. This skein sells for $40, and it does say on here to pull from the outside of the cake, not from the center, because it is a more delicate yarn. If you pull from the center, it's more likely that it's going to break on you. So I definitely recommend pulling from the outside of the cake. But how gorgeous is that? Like, there's some like super dark speckles. Ooh, come on, camera. You want to focus on this yarn. So yeah, there's some like super dark speckles. This stuff is color fast. But because it is all dyed with food coloring, it won't be light fast. Like, you can wear it outside, just don't like leave it in the sun for a day or it will fade a bit. So that brings me to the next one. This one is 40% merino, 40% Peruvian Highland wool, and 20% nylon. It is 100 grams and 437 yards. And this was a gray and white marled yarn. And it is dyed with burgundy food coloring, and I did it in a dip dyed technique. And the reason it is in cake form is because I was showing people how to use my yarn swift at an event. Gorgeous, love it. This cake was originally going to be sold for $60, but then I found a cheaper supplier and the price changed to $40 for this cake. All right. Again, this one is caked up because I was showing off the yarn swift. This is 100% superwash wool, which means it is feltable. Although because it's superwash would take a bit longer to felt. It is 220 yards in 100 grams. It is worth $25 and it is a worsted weight. It is dyed with blue Kool-Aid and blue sprinkles and a little bit of neon purple food coloring. This one is, again, it's a cake. It is 100% superwash wool, 220 yards for 100 grams, a $25 value, and it is a worsted weight. And this one was dyed with sprinkles exclusively. Believe it or not, this was dyed with purple and green sprinkles only. But look at all the colors that came out in there. Isn't that awesome? Very cool. All right. I'm in love with these lace weight ones. This one does not even have a label on it. That's how insistent I was on the fact that I wanted to keep it. But I haven't used it for anything and I have a whole bunch of yarn and I want to get more yarn to dye. So, okay. But this is the same as this one. Obviously not the same color. This is 70% superwash merino, 30% nylon. It is 874 yards and 100 grams. And this one was dyed with hunter green, I believe, and royal blue mixed together. All my yarns are dyed with food coloring, all of them. This one, however, silly me, it came in a ball, and I didn't think that I should wind it first before I dyed it. Like, I'll just dye it in a ball, which I did. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of my Instagram, I showed a picture of it, and it was like a mess. My husband was like, throw it out, and I said, I'm not wasting yarn. So it took me hours, but I eventually finally unraveled it and I managed to put it into a cake form. But this one has lots and lots. It's got like a deep, deep, dark kind of like seaweed green. And then it's got specks along it with like a blue and like a more blue-green. Very, very pretty. And then we have this one, which was dip dyed in, believe it or not, burgundy food coloring. This is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, 274 yards and 100 grams in a sport weight. This yarn will felt. So, just so you know. But how amazing are these colors? Look how pretty. So it goes from a very vibrant, intensely bright pink color, which is coming up red, but is very much like a neonish pink, to a very like muted, soft pink. And this one was $17 value. Okay, this one is a bulky 100% superwash wool, 137 yards for 100 grams, and a $25 value. And this one was dyed with Jello. This one was dyed with blueberry Jello, orange Jello, and I think it was a cherry and a strawberry Jello. Cool. Love it. This one is the first skein of yarn I ever dyed. I have named it Rebecca. And if any of you know Chemnitz Creations or Chemnitz on YouTube, she does a lot of hand dyeing, and she's who inspired me to try dyeing my own yarn. So this is a royal blue and copper combination that was then dip dyed. So I mixed the two colors together, put it in a pot, and then I dip dyed into the pot. And it is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, 274 yards for 100 grams of sport weight, and it is gorgeous. Gorge. Totally gorge. Look how beautiful that is. Love. Then we have this one, which is 100% superwash wool, 220 yards, 100 grams. This is a worsted weight. This is a $25 value. I forgot to tell you. This one is a sport weight and a $17 value. This one also was dyed with Jello. So I like put a whole pack of orange Jello and it's very like neon kind of orange looking with, of course, blueberry Jello, or the blue raspberry. What is it called? Maybe it was blue raspberry. No, it's blueberry. And then, of course, it's showing up more as a warm red, but it's more of a cool pinky purpley red. I think that was the black cherry Jello. And then, oh, we'll put those ones last. And then we have this one. This is a $17 value. It is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, sport weight, 274 yards, 100 grams. And it was dyed with Kelly green, burgundy, and teal food coloring. You guys are lost. All right, now this is the same as the pink one, but in hank form. And this was my first ever Wilton's Violet dip dye, inspired, of course, by Chemnitz. This is a 40% merino, 40% Peruvian Highland wool, 20% nylon, 437 yards, 100 grams of sock weight. And this, again, was a $40 value. How beautiful is that? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then we have this one, which is 100% superwash wool, 220 yards and 100 grams, $25 value, worsted weight. And this one was Kelly green, dip dyed. How beautiful. All right, we're getting there. This one is 100% superwash wool, 220 yards and 100 grams, worsted weight, a $25 value. And this one, I don't remember. I think this one was royal blue and teal, if I remember correctly. How beautiful is that? Gorge. Stunning. Love. Love. This one is a bulky weight. It is a $25 value, and it is 100% superwash wool, 137 yards and 100 grams. And this bad boy was dyed with, I want to say Jello. It was dyed with sprinkles of Jello, but I think I had leftover neon green that I like put in the pot with the yarn, and then I sprinkled Jello colors on top of it. How cool is that? All right, so that is not all. I just have no more room in my lap because that's a lot of yarn. I hope you guys were all counting because I forgot to count. Crap. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's, oops. So far that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, lucky 13. 14. So far that's 14 skeins of yarn. And then we come to, so there'll be 21 skeins of yarn in total up for grabs. Now, all of these next skeins are, oh wait, I lied, except for this one. This one is 80% wool, 20% Angora, 219 yards and 50 grams, and this is a fingering weight. This is hand wash, oh, dry flat. It's $19 value, that's what I was looking at. Oh my goodness. So this one is hand painted. I re-skeined it so that everybody could see kind of how it looked. I have how this was made on my Facebook. I shared pictures. But basically, yeah, I used sponge brushes and painted the color on the yarn by hand. So there's that one. Now, the rest of these are all the same yarn, just different colors. And this is, they are all a $25 value. They are each 70% merino, 30% silk, 123 yards and 50 grams, and they are a DK weight. Now, they are all using food coloring again. This one is a neon purple. This is how it came out. Stunning. Love. Super squishy and soft, you guys. And then we have the neon blue. And then we have the neon green, which kind of, yeah, no, it's pretty much showing up true to color. And then we have neon pink. And then we have what was left of the neon colors. So I just kind of dropped all the colors into the pot, like drop, 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 drop. And then this is the scrumptious yarn that came out. And I thought at first that I wanted to do some kind of like a fade thing, or like, I don't know, some kind of shawl with all the colors, because I thought, how cool would that be? But I haven't done it, and it's been sitting around, and so I'm sharing it with you guys. And then this one, same kind of yarn, but this one is done using copper, Wilton's copper, and I totally love how it came out, kind of like a heathered look. They all came out a bit heathered because I didn't soak them as long as I should have, because the silk takes a lot more time to soak up the water. But I'm not unhappy with that because they came out sort of heathered, and this one ends up looking more like metallic-y as a result, because it has a bit of shine, and the heathered look kind of gives it more dimension. Love. So that, my friends, is all the yarn that's up for grabs. What did I say? 21 skeins of yarn, hand-dyed by moi, using food coloring. I apologize. I'm still using my Christmas cup Not apologizing about that. Apologizing because I need to have a drink now. As I've been talking essentially for an hour. Okay, so you stuck around this long. Congratulations. You've seen all the awesome scrumptious yarn. And 21 lucky people from all corners of the world have a chance to win a skein of that yarn. How to enter? Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. If it helps if you click the little bell notification icon thingy so that you get notified when I post like the winning video. And what shall we have you comment with? I don't know. Let me think. Well, I live in Canada. So, how about we comment with something about Canada? It could be your favorite place, or something like weird trivia, or a stereotype that you've heard about Canadians. Something Canada related. So you're going to have to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment with something Canadian related. And I will leave this video up. Well, obviously I'm going to leave it up forever, but the contest will run from now until the end of March. And I will pick winners the beginning of, what comes after March? April. At the beginning of April. Probably not on April Fool's, because I don't want anybody thinking like, haha, I'm joking, I'm really keeping all the yarn. Because I'm not. I plan to give it all away, I promise. So that is my video. Extremely long. I wanted to catch you guys up so you can see what I've been doing. I do still have to do my... I still have to post my video for the Traveling Infinity Scarf. I'm so sorry, Seta. I've been so busy. I was really sick 2 different times, and I've been working night shifts, and so I've been like either sick, sleeping, or working. It's been crazy. I'm finally feeling like, you can still hear, I feel like a bit nasally, and I can hear myself in my ears. Yeah, it's super fun. But sinus issues, what are you going to do? So, like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment below with something Canadian related. Like I said, it could be fun trivia, places you've lived, weird stereotypes, anything Canadian related. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being an awesome cave person. Thanks for sticking with me and having patience with me while my life has been kind of changing in the last month or two. So going forward, like the video part of it will change a bit, but I'm working on it. So thanks for sticking it out, and thanks for being you. And remember, it's okay to not be okay, but don't give up. And have a great day. And stay crafty. Love you. Bye.